Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining on time. Please allow me like 2 or 3 minutes to allow other people joining us today. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's a bit cloudy and rainy here in Surabaya. Hope you are not sleepy because it's after lunchtime. Because we have Bao here. Miss Bao is the representative from London South Bank University. It's located exactly in the central of London. If you have any inquiries for the students who want to study in the central London, LSBU might be the best choices for them. All right. I think without further ado, I will over it to you, Bao.
Right. Thank you so much, Razi. And thank you everyone for spending the time for joining our webinar today. So my name is Bao. I currently representing the London South Bank University in Southeast Asia. And I based in Vietnam at the moment. So hopefully that someday I can go together with Just Education team and meet you guys in person. But back to our today topics is going to be introducing London South Bank University as a study option in the UK, all right? I hope that my visibility is not that too purple because I'm sitting next to a window, shedding a light to me, right? All right, so talking about the London South Bank University, here are a few key points that I would like to go through for today's session. And feel free to leave your question by the end of the session today. That would be safe for the Q&A. All right. Talking about London South Bank University, we based in London, obviously, and we have been founded quite a long time ago, like 130 years. And back then, we are polytechnic institution, and we officially gained the university status in 1992. So that's why we are still considered a modern university. All right. So being founded as a polytechnic institution means that we have a very practical teaching approach, and this is something that is kind of key selling point for our SBU. So throughout the time, instead of just focusing on ranking, we rather focusing on the career outcome and employability services. So talking about LSBU, one sentence that I can describe my university is that we are provide a affordable study option in central of London with a very affordable tuition fee, affordable living costs, and also more specialized in career outcome. All right. So within our SBU, we have one of the biggest campus in London, but actually we are medium-sized university in terms of the numbers of students. So currently we have almost 18,000 students and only 3,000 of them are international students. I'm not really sure if it is considered as like a benefit or not, because for me myself, when I study in the UK, I, to be honest, prefer to study somewhere that I don't need to speak that much Vietnamese. So, like over 70% of our students are British students. So, most of the classmates will be local people. So, this is something very signature to our SBU. All right. So in terms of location, like I said, we are located in a very central of London. So London has been, has been awarded the best student city in the world for 5 years in a row. It's not just a title. I think it's a real proof saying that London have a lot of characteristics that, very attractive to international students. From our campus, we base in London Zone 1. You know that in London, the city has been divided into 6 zones, in which Zone 6 is the furthest area, the like a suburb area. Meanwhile, Zone 1 is the most central one. So we base in London Zone 1. So being very central means that everything are just doorstep. So for example, on your left-hand side, you could see we have London Eye, we have Buckingham Palace, Piccadilly Circuit, and even Chinatown. It's just like 10, 15 minutes away by bus. And on the other side of the city, on your right-hand side, we are close to Borough Market. We're close to the financial district where I think very convenient for our student to get a part-time job or even placement or internship later on. All right. So from this is our newest campus has been rebuilt in 2022. So we overall have 3 campus, but Sawax is the main campus one where we teach all of the majors at our SBU. And to rebuild that new campus, we have already invested 65 million pounds on, investing on the facility, improving the student support, and even the student well-being as well is one of our key focus when we rebrand of our SBU. So in order to, have a look on our campus, there are 2 ways that I would really recommend to you. So for example, if you have any chance to visit UK or London specifically, or even you have student or parents who, have going to visit London and also want to visit our SBU campus, you guys can really book a campus tours, which happens on every Wednesday. And the second option would be exploring our virtual campus tour, which I also put the link here. And so you can really explore our facilities, our study areas, and so many others, student support that we are providing for our students. Right, so this is just a few of the pictures of our students. And more importantly, like I mentioned, the virtual campus tour is something that we also want to, you know, get the best experience of our student where they are offshore. So when you're visiting this platform, you actually can filter the major that your student are interested in. So for example, if you choose engineering, and click Let's Go, the platform will actually design a customized campus tour that really fit for engineering students. So this is something kind of very unique features that we try to get the best experience for our future students. All right. Talking about the living, like university accommodation, we are currently have 2 resident halls that names Mark Lawrence and David Bloomberg. They are just walking distance to the university. So basically, when studying in the UK, most of the international students they have to spend like £1,000 per year for public transportation. But if you choose to live with the university accommodation, you only need to walk to school, no need to buy train or bus ticket to go to school every day. So it kind of save up a bit on transportation fee. And having a look at the rent fee, I would like also to emphasize on the part-time job earning here. So based on the minimum wage for international students, actually the earning from the part-time job somehow can cover for the rent fee actually. And believe me, as an alumni, UK alumni, I have to say that all of my friends who are living in London, none of them pay less than £1,200 per month for the rent fee. But if you choose to live with a university accommodation at RSBU, the rent fee is much cheaper than that. And that and that rent fee actually cover all of the bills like electricity, water, and the internet already. So your student don't need to worry that, hey, we are approaching winter, the gas bill will, goes up dramatically. That is not something happen with our SPU student. And additionally, we have a lot of available slot here, like McLaren, we have over 600. Meanwhile, David Bloomberg, we have almost 300 available slots. So this is something that your student don't need to compete with other international students to get a room at our SBU resident hall. All right. So this is just a few pictures of our resident hall. So all of the room are single bedroom, and your student will have like share kitchen. And if you want something more private, we can book for this ensuite, so they can have a private bathroom within their room as well. So the university just reviewed the accommodation and the campus in 2022. So all the furnitures and facilities are kind of new and modern. So I really hope that that kind of living environment will be one of the plus point for LSBU when you are consulting with the prospect students and parents. So talking about the support towards student, of course, as a university, we definitely need to provide the academic support and student well-being. But things I want to highlight here is actually more about our career smart promise. So at LSBU, thing we are proud of is our graduation median earnings. So 3 years in a row from 2023, we have been in top 20 in the UK for the graduate salaries, and we outperform the rest of the modern university who based in London as well in terms of median earning. So this is something that kind of a very good key selling points of our SBU when you are suggesting London South Bank for your students and parents. And in order to maintain on top of that ranking, we actually have a lot of activities to support our students. That is include the placement, the internship, and also the workshop, webinar, the careers activities, and your student even are able to book one-on-one coaching with our LSBU expertise. So those kinds of activities are open for free for every international student. All right. The one thing that make LSB really outstanding toward others competitors is that we actually track whether our student has attained those career and employability service or not. So after the very first semester at LSBU, if we notice that the student did not join any extra curriculums or career activities, we'll send reminder and push the student to join. So this kind of features is because we have a medium scale, so we are still be able to support closely to our student. And I think that kind of features is kind of very interested by the parents as well, because they want to make sure that their child be aware of all the advantage that is supported by the university. So this is our career hub where a lot of the activities that students can do here. For example, they can book one-on-one appointment with our LSBU expertise to have further guidance on how to apply to a job or for a placement opportunity. And the LSBU expertise can, help them in terms of building the CV, the cover letter, and the tips on interview, and even doing a mock interview before our student joining the official interview with the industry partners. And from here, the student can gain access to a lot of these resources. For example, if you filter the specific major that your student are currently studying, on the slide here, I put computer science. The platform will provide a lot of free online training that fit to the major that your student is currently studying. And the good thing here is the platform is not just open for current students. It's also open for our alumni 2 years after they graduate from LSVU. So this kind of thing that we really highly recommend that students should utilize to make sure that they are maximizing the opportunity to get a job after graduate. All right. So apart from the LSBU staff member, we also have a team called student ambassador. So student ambassador are most of the time they are current student, and that team have a specific task to support other students. So for example, ambassador will support our LSBU within open day, within orientation week, within our campus tour service, and we also have a 24/7 live chat service where your student can drop an inquiries and there will be some student can reply right away to support them. And the types of the topic of the support could be in anything that include academic, that include, how living environment within London and LSBU, anything. And we are trying to diversify the nationality of the student ambassador team, making sure that each of international student can at least find you know, a someone who can really talk their mother language and have something related to their home country. So it's not just about how to helping our student. I also really highly recommend that your student can apply to become a student ambassador, because this is also a part-time job. So the minimum wage currently in the UK is around £12 per hour. But actually, one of my students who work as a student ambassador, she got paid £16 per hour, which I think is very good benefit compared with other part-time jobs. Right. Similar to other English-speaking countries, for UK, international students are allowed to work 20 hours during term times and 40 hours per week during break time. So this is something that kind of helping them to gain a bit of money to cover for the living expense in the UK. Talking about major, we have so many majors that has been divided into three groups. The first one, it will be the College of Technologies and Environment, where we are teaching architectures, engineering, construction, and computer science. The second college will be Health and Life Science. Where we are focusing on life science, midwifery, nursing, and community health. And the very last one would be the societies and professions, where we are talking about business, law, education, and social science. So within our today's session, I cannot really going through every single major, but I will try to highlight those major that I usually receive the applications and the inquiries from Southeast Asia agents. All right. So the very first one that I want to focus here is the business school. The business school is where we offer accounting and finance, economics, business, and marketing. And the standard study time for the bachelor degree will definitely 3 years. Meanwhile, the master degree will have 1 year study only, which I think is a lot shorter compared with other nations like Australia, Canada, or US, where most of the master degree will at least for 18 months or 2 years. All right. So if your students are looking for a short study time, you can think about study master in the UK. And within the business school, apart from the standard study time, we also offer the optional placement year. So for the bachelor degree, the placement year will take place between year 2 and year 3. And for the master degree, the placement year will be after first year study at LSBU. So within that placement year, we don't require students to go to campus. They can spend the time fully for the doing internship or placement. It means that they are being exposed to real work experience with a an entrepreneurs or a company. So they can gain practical elements during the time they are living in the UK. And advice, things I would like to suggest here, if you're a student interested in practical things like placement or internship, I would highly recommend that you guys register the placement year at the application submission stage. The main reason is because the student, it is related very close to the visa thing. So if your student decided to register for the for the placement year when they have already been in the UK, I think they need to reapply for the visa. So that's why I would highly recommend you register with us at the very first step when submitting the applications. All right. So among the business school, I would say that accounting and finance would be the most common one and the most chosen by international students. I think partly of the reason is because in 2023, we are in top five for accounting and finance among London University. And this is in the same group with LSE and UCL. So from that point, we have a lot increase in terms of the application for accounting and finance. All right. And again, as an very applied science school, the way we teach accounting and finance or the rest of the major are very practical, and we are trying to simulate our study environment that very close to a real work experience. Right. Another school that is also very popular among Southeast Asia students that is called engineering school. So engineering is something that we start teaching at the very beginning when LSBU was established. So we have a very long history and experience in teaching engineering, and we are also one of the very first UK university to admit female engineering students in 1920s. When rebuilding our campus, we also spent a study space of 6,000 meters square that is for engineering laboratories. So this is something we are committed that LSBU students will be exposed and are allowed to use the most up-to-date facility, supporting them during the time they study at engineering school. And that make our we rank very high in terms of student satisfaction in teaching engineering school. Within the engineering school, we have quite a lot of options that students can choose here that include chemical engineering, electrical and electronics, mechanical engineering, and also computer science and informatics. So within computer science, this is something we'll talk about the cybersecurity, IT, applied AI, data science, and even computing science and informatics. Those kinds of majors are offering from bachelor's, master, and even PhD. And again, in order to explore our facility, I would highly recommend to visit our campus tour via the link that I put on the bottom of the slide here today, where you can get exposed to our Formula Student Room, Materials Lab, and Multi-Purpose Lab, where it not just designed for the mechanical engineering student, but also architectures and so many other design projects. Last but not least, we have College of Health and Life Science here. All of the year, so things we are offering is include auto nursing, diagnostic, radiography, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, social work, and a lot more. And all of the major that I highlighted in yellow, it actually need this application via UCAS. It means that if your student want to study in our September intake, they need to submit the application since January or even December last year. So, and regarding the entry requirements, in order to be accepted into Health and Life Science College, the student not just follow the university entry requirement, but also need to meet the entry requirement defined by Nursing and Midwifery Council. According to that, all of the students need to submit their A-level and GCSE score. It means that this health and life science college is only targeting Cambridge A-level students. So the one who hold international qualification like A-level. And together with that, we also require IELTS. Some of the course is required kind of high IL from 7 own band. So in order to know exactly the entry requirement for a specific course, I would highly recommend you visit our course page for full details. And besides the academic requirements, there's a few other things that you should advise your children to prepare that include personal statements, the interview, the reference letter, and of course, resume, CV, and a copy of a passport. So this is kind of entry requirement for health and life science. I know that for health and life science, it's usually higher entry requirement compared with others majors, but this is something that we need to follow the Nursing and Midwifery Council requirement as well. So, the highlighted course that I want to highlight here is outdoor nursing. So outdoor nursing is our bachelor degrees is accredited and approved by Nursing and Midwifery Council. It means that your student once graduate from LSBU, they can become a registered nurse and work in the UK. So the unique things for LSBU outdoor nursing student is that our university have a very close link to a lot of the hospital and NSH and NHS Foundation Trust. So it means that during the practical elements, my student don't need to explore the placement or internship by themselves. Instead, the university will allocate outdoor nursing to a specific hospital, allowing them to have a like almost 50% of their study time will be spending on the hospital to master the clinical skill in a risk-free environment. Right. Another major that I got here is physiotherapy, that currently we rank 46 in the UK. And similar to outdoor nursing, physiotherapies, we also include 30 weeks clinical placement, and the course is being approved by Health and Care Profession Council and Chartered Society of Physiotherapy. So our graduates can work at a physiotherapist in the UK. Okay, moving on, we also have social work. For social work, I actually quite confident in terms of the ranking because we rank first in the UK for social work. And looking at the cost structure, as you can see, work placements is contribute at least 30% in year 2 and over 30% in year 3, making sure that all of our students have a very large amount of times and to be exposed to clinical experience. Last but not least, we have biomedical science. So for biomed, we rank 29th in the UK, and biomed is a very rare majors that we don't require A level. So beside A level, the student can be accepted based on their local high school transcript. So for example, last year I got one student from Vietnam who are accepted to biomedical science without he only providing the Vietnamese high school transcript. So I think things is very similar to other countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore or Thailand. So yeah, this is something that kind of unique to about LSBU biomeds majors. And for biomed students, this I think in order to support biomed students during their study time, this major require quite a lot of investment in terms of facilities. So that's why we have biomed lab, multipurpose lab, and even microbiology lab that is only designed for the biomedical science students. So yeah, again, in order to explore our facility, please visit the link that I put on the bottom of the slide here today. At LSBU, there's a few master degrees that don't really require relevant background. So it means that as long as your student have graduated and obtained a bachelor degree in their home countries, the student can apply direct to our master degree without, any work experience or relevant bachelor degrees. That is something that we can recruit for Master of Psychology, Master of International Business Management, Applied AI, Computer Science, project management, and real estates. So this kind of flexibilities in terms of entry requirement is something that you can really promote for those major at LSBU. Another study option that I got here is top-up degrees. I'm not so sure if that uh, become popular within your country, but top-up is something that we are open for international students who have already complete 2 or 3 years in their home country, and then they want to spend the final year in the UK to study and obtain the bachelor degree at LSBU. So currently, top-up degrees is open for a few major that include mostly most of them are come from engineering, business, computing, and we also have a bit of open for education, architecture, law, and criminology. So if you are unsure whether your student transcript is qualified for the top-up or not, please submit the application via Yes Education team. Then our admission can confirm whether like how many years left your student can study with us and obtain the bachelor degrees. All right, so moving on the entry requirement. This is the entry requirement for the bachelor degree for the undergraduate level for a few countries within Southeast Asia, that is except for health courses. So among Southeast Asia country, I think we can accept students directly from Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and only Cambodia and Philippines that require foundation or international year one, because we cannot accept local qualification from Cambodia and Philippines directly into our year one entry. So this is something I want to highlight here. All right. In terms of international qualification, we can accept A level, IB, AP, and even Pearson H&D level 5 student directly to our bachelor degrees. And please be noted that for H&D level 5, if you are unsure whether your student are accepted into year 3, just share with us a transcript so we can confirm and support you during the application process. Regarding the postgraduate level, this is an entry requirement, and among Southeast Asia country, I think except for Cambodia, the rest of the C country can be accepted directly into our master degree. It means that there's no need to complete the pre-master. Most of the C country can be accepted directly into our master degree. And to be honest, looking at the entry requirement, I would say that we are not how can I say, we are more toward applied science school. So our entry requirement is not that high. It's very easy to achieve, especially for Southeast Asia students. So yeah, hopefully this is something could be a key selling point, a good point to promote for LSBU. In terms of the English requirements, I think similar to other English speaking countries, we accept various international English qualification, including IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, and we even accept Duolingo. So I know that not all of the UK institutions accept Duolingo, but that is also open for LSBU students. So we're requiring overall score of 120 with no components below 105 for Duolingo certificate. Just in case that your student are lacking of English requirement and they would like to study a bit, register for a short English courses. So this is something you can consider. So depends on the student current IELTS score. They will be categorized into it will divide the length of the English course that the student need to complete. And in order to register for these English programs, you should submit a separate application for OIEG. So this is an online course, so there's no visa required, no cash required. The student can complete the English course within in their home country. And once they pass the English course, they can clear the English condition at LSBU and no need to provide IELTS anymore. Talking about the fee and scholarship. So our tuition fee is currently 16 to 20,000 pounds. But if you apply the scholarship and the discount, our net tuition fee will down back to 13 to 15,000 pounds, which I think we are one of the most reasonable, study option within London, especially in Zone 1. We currently have three types of the scholarship that I would like to highlight here. The first one is called International Merit Award. So that is for undergraduate student only. And we have the value of the scholarship is 2,000 pounds per year, multiplied by 3 years. So your student can earn 6,000 pounds in total. And in order to get that merit award, the student should have a high GPA, for example, A level from ABB or a Vietnamese, GPA from 8.5. I have a list of the specific GPA required for the International Merit Award. So, for example, Indonesian students should have at least 7.5 in all subjects. Thailand will be Matayom 6, GPA from 3.2, etc. So, looking at that, country-specific requirement for merit award, you can really advise whether your student have a chance to gain the merit award or not. Right. The second one that I would like to focus, the second type of scholarship that we got here is called Global Success Scholarship. So the Global Success is available for every international candidate. And as long as you are accepted by the university, you will be automatically got the Global Success Scholarship. So it means that if you meet our minimum entry requirement, definitely you can get this scholarship, minimum of Global Success Scholarship, all right? But if you're a student applying for undergraduate degrees and they have good GPA, they can apply for the Merit Award, all right? For the scholarship, they cannot be combined one scholarship with the other type of the scholarship, but the scholarship can be combined with a discount. We got 1,000 pounds of early settlement discount that will be available when the student pay 1 year tuition fee in full. So for example, your student study 3 years bachelor degrees, and instead of dividing the tuition fee into paying by semester, by termly, if they pay 1 year tuition fee in full and then all 3 years pay only 3 times, they can save 3,000 pounds for early settlement discount. Okay, and that 3,000 discount can be combined with merit award, which is 6,000 pounds. So your student can save up to 9,000 pounds in total. So this is something even even a lot more than one semester tuition fee. So I really hope that with that kind of scholarship and tuition fee range, LSBU will become one of the most affordable study option in London at the moment. All right. The very last scholarship that we got here is called Pathway Progression Scholarship. So this is our newest scholarship that targeting students who complete the foundation in the UK. So for example, if you have students who complete the foundation from on campus into Kaplan study group or ORUG, etc. If they are completing the foundation from one of these pathway provider and then they progress to our year one bachelor degree, the student will automatically got £5,000 for the first year of bachelor study. All right. And this kind of scholarship, yeah, very similar to the first two scholarship, it can be combined with £1,000 early discount. Okay. How to apply? Of course, when you submitting via Yes Education, I believe that Yes will have a specific team that support every agent during the application process. But I just want to note that, firstly, for all health program, the application must be submitted via UCAS. All right. It means that you need to prepare quite early for health programs. And the second thing here is there's no agent change accepted by LSBU under any circumstances. So as long as you have a student who interested in study with LSBU or who are interested in study in London, I would suggest that you submit the application right away to make sure that that student belong to you guys rather than letting student, being consulted a lot by you and then going to submit the application via another agent. That will be, very that is not really suitable, and we don't want you to fall into that situation. All right, we can accept tagging as long as the student not yet being supported by other agent and as long as they not yet paid the deposit, so the tagging request can be accepted and the process is very easy. Just reach out to Just Education team, please, so you can have further guidance on that. Intakes. So currently we have 3 intakes per year, in which September is the main one, where all of the programs can be open, and we have an application deadline is the 1st of August. So we still have time to recruiting for the September. And for the January and May intake, they are a smaller intake. So we only offering business and computing areas. So, and most of them are undergraduate, postgraduate degree. Key dates. We have an application deadline in the 1st of August, and the 17th of August will be the deadline for the deposit payment, which is a 50% of the tuition fee. And in terms of deadline, I would suggest that please don't wait until we are approaching the deadline, because the turnaround time on offer will be quite slow. If you apply by now, most of the time the student only need to wait 2 to 3 working days to get the offer letter, so quite quick. So I would suggest that you should apply the application as soon as possible. All right. Yeah. In terms of the application process, I just want to highlight here that we have a precast process. So precast means that the university will evaluate all of the financial documents and everything before issuing the cast for the student. And luckily, among Southeast Asian country, only Vietnamese student is required to complete the interview. For the rest of the C country, you guys only need to upload the documents to CAT-SHIELD and everything can be processed. So here is the precast document. I have listed down here, and I believe that this checklist is very close to the guidance on the UKBI website. So everything you want to pay attention is only the bank statement or bank letter, which should be covered for the tuition fee and the maintenance fee, and it should be open at least 28 days before the bank statement can be uploaded to CAT-SHIELD. All right. Yeah, I think that is all for training today. So we can move on to the Q&A session, please.
Thank you so much, Paul, for the really comprehensive presentation. I think I will start the Q&A session. Guys, if you have any other questions, please just drop it in the Q&A box. While waiting for the others, I think I will start first, but I have several questions actually.
Mm.
For the top-up programs, I saw in the presentation that BSc architecture is one of them. Is it required for the students to get like FRIPA accreditation from the previous like institution, or it's just any architecture will be considered?
I think every architecture background can be considered because for the top-up degrees, if things related to mapping and credit transfer, most of the time we will send the transcript to our faculty leader to examine the profile and the transcript of the student, and then give you the outcome whether the student is eligible for year 2 or year 3 entries.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bao. And the second one, I know that the offered scholarships are quite generous, but is there any like installment plans for the students? Because yeah, this is the common question from the
Mm.
Indonesian parents.
Yes, yes, definitely. When the student pay the deposit, it is required 50%, right? But for the rest of the 50%, it can be divided into two times. So the student pay 50% for deposit, 25% before enrollment, and 25% before they complete in the second semester.
All right, so three payments, right?
Yeah, three installment for the 1 year.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from you guys? Or everything is clear enough?
So basically, even though you guys submit the application via Yes Education team, but I'm really happy to support directly to the sub-agent or the student directly, because I know that sometimes students and parents really want to talk directly with the school representative. So in that case,
Mhm.
please reach out to Jazzy or any others Yes Education member staff so we can really conduct like a maybe on an online meeting directly with the students and parents to clear all the inquiries that student might have. I'm happy to support
Mhm.
that. Mm.
All right. I think your presentation is super, super complete about. We don't have other questions at the moment. Yeah. Perhaps if you have later have some cases of the students, feel free to contact me for Indonesia and sorry, Indonesia and Philippines and Vietnam. You may contact Hong. Thailand, you may contact Pavan or Kitty, and Malaysia, you may contact Russell or Tim.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's it for this session with LSBU. Thank you so much, Bob, for your time and presentation. Thank you so much,
Mm.
everyone, for joining. Don't
Right.
forget, I have already announced the incentive for you to recruit for September 2026 intake. So, yeah, happy recruiting.
Yeah, thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye. Have a good day.